of design. Fantastic. Ended up with 4 boys. She wanted a girl because she was making such great clothes, and that's, we'll always remember the fact that the 4 of us just didn't get to wear anything.
No frilly dresses.
Yeah, no frilly dresses.
That's a good thing.
At all.
Well,
Exactly.
some people think so. Anyway,
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's so that's why he started late. I mean, it's bad timing, and there's nothing else to call it, but good timing that you got to go there. And yeah, I know you had told me you were running, and then I didn't hear from you, and then a couple of days before nominations.
Hello, I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah,
let's get going. And so we were a little late, but you're coming from behind now. Tell me, tell everybody what starting late means. What does that mean in terms of raising money and running a campaign? I know, I'm living it, but
well, just first thing, a lot of people might know me from Let's Talk Gardening on AM 770 on Sunday mornings. I've been doing that just pretty close to 47 years, and on horticulture and plants and all that kind of thing. And I learned that from my mom, and really learned a lot through my years, and worked both on the farms in out west with my grandparents, and also with the farms in St. Catharines area in Ontario. Getting back on the focus here is that she always wanted me to run for mayor. She thought it would be important because she was a Calgarian, and she considers that I should get a chance to do that.
Right.
And it's always something I thought about. I did 15 years as an alderman, and during that 15 years probably put together more solutions on things such as environment, constructed wetlands, that kind of thing. Worked very, very hard to make sure that the public was served and listened, and stood up to a lot of items that took a lot of work. But at the end of the day, good people, good results. Now, what did we do when we got here? Well, guess what? All the money had gone to everybody else. Everybody kind of looked at me, so you're kind of a late starter. All those people that promised, hey, here's a few bucks. Guess what? We did this on a shoestring because nobody stepped forward, and we've been working very well. And I got to say thank you to you because of the communications that you're bringing to the public in relation to what actually happened.
Well, I want to talk about that because one of the things I've always liked about you, I helped you with one of your aldermanic campaigns in the past. And one of the things I always liked about you, and everyone I talk to about you says you are a great communicator, that you bring people together, you want input from the people, and that's what everyone else in this election is talking about. And I hope this stream and everything else that you're doing shows people that not only do you intend to talk about it, that you actually do it. I mean, lots of people are talking about it. You are communicating, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to be involved with you, to help you out, because I know that's who you are. You're not talking about doing it. You're talking about continuing to do it. Whereas others are saying, oh, I really think that's a good idea. Well, and my favorite saying is, a good idea and $2 will get you a cup of coffee. So,
well, one thing I think is important to look at is that talk is cheap. Listening is a skill, and you need to listen, because not only is it the words that are coming out, it is the energy and the focus that the people, when they're talking to you, you've got to listen.
And that's where the whole "be Calgarian" thing, I think, is coming from. It's
Absolutely.
from the heart. You are a Calgarian, and Calgarians are proud people, maybe a little tarnished at the moment from the current parts of the current administration. Not even the administration, the political side of the administration.
Well,
I don't know
look
what
at
the name
the
of
costs. Look at the costs out there that you got to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, gee, there's a lot of stores downtown I'd like to go to, but they get some money together. I'm going to buy some clothes or buy whatever, and the next thing you know, you're feeding a machine all this money, and you're looking at it and saying, I got to be back in this many minutes. It's getting to the point where it is just not the right thing to do. We need to open the city up. We need people to get into the area, and I think it's really important that we try to figure out how people can use the down and the center of the city.
Okay, well, I've got a caller on the line. So Barry, one thing I wanted to go over with you before I get on to Bob, and Bob, hang on for a sec. I can see you're on the phone there. One of the things I wanted to talk about was 37th Street. Just throw that out there. We were going to talk about something else. Let's talk about 37th Street. It's a big issue. You have, I'm going to say, more experience than anyone else in City Hall dealing with the 37th Street issue as of at least the last 15 years prior to, except the last 3. You were already doing the negotiation with the Tsutsina and the province. This is something you've been working on. So I know a lot about that. And some people are saying we should talk to Tsutsina again. Some people are saying, well, you know, that's not going to work. It's going to build a bridge. What do you think and why? What's your take? And I'll take this call and jot down the question for your next question. So
okay,
you can talk to them. I'll talk to them.
Okay. With that alignment, that has been there for a long time for a road, and unfortunately, roads get bigger in size over the years because there's more cars and everything else. So what would have been, you know, a small 2-lane road going across that area?
Okay.
Not a lot of room for that.
Might be quicker,
but you're going to need
for
4
you
to
just
6
sign up
lanes, and that's the other
ID.
problem we're at right
Just
now,
where it
because
says
it's
log
going to be
in
a
or sign up. Go ahead
major
and just create your own.
north-south corridor.
And then
Well,
you can chat
what happened is
the
area was going to be built, the bridge and the roads and all that,
thanks.
by the province, and
Gateway.
and the Tsutsina was presented documents to sign. When they went over those documents, and this is what I believe because I have heard it from members of the Tsutsina, that the land trade was the most important thing. The land that they're placing the road on is probably very rich fodder, grasslands for feeding horses and cattle and that kind of thing. And if you're going to replace it in the foothills, you would need 3 acres to 1 acre, because a higher level, shorter growing season would take 3 acres to grow the same amount. My understanding is when this was brought out at the end of the day, they did not find that clause in there, the land trade, and at that point the thing fell apart. Now my problem with this is, do we talk to them again? Well, maybe will they talk to us again? That's the other question. But we need to build that road. It's got to be built, and there's a very creative ways to build that. For example, you can't tunnel under the river. It's just too crazy and too expensive. Putting a high bridge over that beautiful area, I call it one of the wonders of the world. When you sit in the park and you look down that whole valley, it is fantastic. It's quiet, the birds, it's great. And the last thing I'd like to hear is all the noise of cars. Well, guess what? They can build bridges now that absorb sound. So that's one way to do it. The other way, a little more creative, is you got a bridge over the river, but the bridge is covered very much like the animal overpasses that you go out towards the West End. I designed those. I was the creator of those, and they work very well. And so the idea would be that you would have, believe it or not, a tunnel on a bridge and have it covered with earth and landscaped and have bicycle paths, so that when the cars come down